Hiroshima today is a vibrant cosmopolitan city full of life and energy. But 79 years ago, it experienced something only one other city in the world has endured. The atomic bomb dome stands today amidst a tranquil park as a reminder of what happened on August 6, 1945. But the city rose from the ashes and made a comeback, providing all manner of opportunities to enjoy, including Miyajima Island, Hiroshima Castle, delectable fluffy pancakes, and a 7-story slide at Orizuru Tower. Come with us as we explore Hiroshima. We start off our tour with a boat ride to Miyajima Island, known for its iconic floating torii gate. We board the Hiroshima World Heritage Sea Route tour, situated a short walk from the Hiroshima Bomb Dome Memorial. The ride takes about 35 minutes and you take most of the way inside, although before entering the waters of the larger bay, you can step out onto the stern deck for a different view of the city. Once on the open water, the captain turns up the throttle and you'll speed off toward your destination. On one of our excursions, we came uncomfortably close to a sizable cargo freighter as the captain crossed its bow a little too close for us, but we made it safely to the island. Miyajima is a very walkable island and you can easily spend an entire day here. Most of the sights to see are along the waterfront, including the famous Torii Gate and the floating palace. Okay, we're on Miyajima Island. We took about a 45-minute boat ride from downtown Hiroshima, got on right at the atomic bomb dome part, and it's a wonderful place to spend several hours. You see behind me the famous Torii Gate, the floating Torii Gate. During low tide, you can walk out onto the flats, get your picture taken with all the thousands of other tourists. Therefore, we advise you to get out here early in the morning. But once you're here, you can spread out because there's a lot to see. In a few moments, we're going to take the ropeway up to the top of the mountain, grab a bite to eat elsewhere, and have a great day of it. Perhaps the most famous residents of Miyajima are the deer. They roam freely here and will beg food off of you or even pose for a photo. We suggest you leave the waterfront and enjoy the pleasant walk through the back streets and shaded paths up to the start of the Miyajima ropeway. I don't know how many ropeways there are in Japan, but they seem to be all over the country, and the one on Miyajima Island provides you a view that you won't often get elsewhere. The first leg of the ropeway takes about 12 minutes, then you switch to another gondola for the remaining 5 minutes to the observatory at the top of Mount Mason. Okay, made it up to the top of Miyajima Island here, took the ropeway up. It's about a 15-20 minute ride on the gondola. Up here at the top, as you can see, the views are phenomenal. You literally have 360 degrees around you. Up here, there's a gift shop, restroom facilities. There are a number of trails that go to different shrines. You can take hikes all over the top of the mountain here. I recommend getting up here fairly early in the day to avoid the bigger crowds. Everyone wants to get to the highest point, so you may have to wait your turn to get that perfect photo, but it's worth it. The view of the Seto Inland Sea is spectacular, even on a cloudy day, and it is considered one of the 3 best views in Japan. Once you've had your fill of photos and video, just hop back on the ropeway for the scenic ride down the mountain. But rather than retracing your steps to the waterfront and the crowds, take a slight detour to the left, stopping at the Hiramatsu Cafe. This spot has perhaps one of the best views of the floating Torii Gate you'll find, and best of all, you can enjoy it without all the crowds down below. Continue down the path toward the Daisho-in Temple Complex. This is one of the more prominent ones in Japan, dating back to the year 806. A lot of tourists do not make it this far from the ferry landing, therefore it isn't nearly as crowded as other parts of the island. This complex features numerous shrines and lots of stairs, so be ready to do some climbing, but it is well worth it. One unique feature of this temple complex is an underground temple known as the Hensho Cave, which is a rarity in Japan. Hanging from the ceiling are hundreds of lanterns with the various statues representing each of the 88 Buddhas of the Shikoku Island pilgrimage. Sand from each of the original 88 shrines on Shikoku are buried here, and it is believed that by walking in front of each statue, you earn the same reward as if you did the entire Shikoku pilgrimage. After returning to Hiroshima on the boat, you should stop off at the Hiroshima Bomb Dome and Peace Memorial Park. Little is needed to be said about the event that took place here on August 6, 1945, but a visit to the Peace Memorial Museum is a must. The bomb dome stands as a visual reminder of what happened, although the residents of Hiroshima moved on and rebuilt their city into an amazing cosmopolitan town, offering much more than this moment of dark history. One turn on that history can be found at the Orizuru Tower, which is literally across the corner from the bomb dome. Take the elevator to the 11th floor and your eyes will take in the sweeping vista of the Peace Memorial Park. Nearly every large town in Japan has an observation tower or deck, but we've not seen one quite like this. With strategic placement of steps and mirrors, it appears as if the roof is floating in the air. One floor down, you'll find all kinds of historic exhibits and rotating art displays. Perhaps the best view of the bomb dome in town can be found here. There are several activities for the kids, including some interactive digital media screens that mimic your movements and allow you to fly a paper crane through the air. The paper crane is somewhat of a symbol of Hiroshima, stemming from the efforts of one of the bomb's youngest survivors, Sadako Sasaki. She began folding paper cranes that practice origami while in the hospital suffering with leukemia in the hopes each crane would add days to her life. From this grew the practice of folding paper cranes as a way to inspire a peaceful world. At Orizuru Tower, you can fold your own paper crane. And let me say that it is a lot harder than it looks. But once completed, you can take your crane over to the Orizuru wall and drop it down the glass enclosure on the exterior of the building, where it will become one of the hundreds of thousands that have been dropped before. The idea is to fill up the display all the way from the ground level to the top. Once you're done paying your respects, it's time for some fun. When going to the top of the tower, you have two options. You can take the elevator or you can take the walking slope, which winds its way, offering you a widening view as you climb higher and higher. But when you descend, you have three options. Okay, well, when you're at the Orizuru Tower, there's an additional bit of fun that you can do. There's 7 floors of this outside walk, and it has a slide called the Cool Slide, so we're going to go give it a try. Here we go. Whoa! The slide is a lot of fun, and fortunately you can get off at each floor, which is a good idea for an old guy like me. We receive feedback from viewers who are changing their travel plans based on these videos, but we need to let the YouTube genie know, and that is only done when you click the like and subscribe buttons. It's free and you won't get emails or solicitations from us, but if you want to see more of these videos, it's important you like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Our next stop is the Hiroshima Castle Park. Just a short walk from the atomic bomb dome, it is an easy walk to the castle. For decades, the castle served as a military headquarters, and when the bomb was dropped, the castle was utterly destroyed. Therefore, what you see today is a reconstruction. The castle moat, gate, and outer wall are classic and as impressive as anything you'll find elsewhere. The outer wall has been rebuilt largely to the specifications of the original, showcasing the amazing woodworking skill of the Japanese craftsmen. The exterior of the castle keep is beautiful and impressive with its detailed woodwork, but in this case the beauty is only skin deep. Once inside, there is no detailed woodwork or plaster or creaking floors. It is all concrete with fluorescent lighting with wide stairways leading from floor to floor. Yes, there are enclosed displays of historic artifacts, but honestly the interior does not compare to many other castles. If you read the internet reviews, you'll understand why they say what they do. So if you have limited time in Hiroshima, then the castle is one prominent site you may skip in favor of other more historically accurate castles, such as those in Kochi, Matsumoto, and Matsue. Walking back to our hotel, we stopped in at the Hiroshima Museum of Art. As guests of the Riga Royal Hotel, we were given free passes to the museum. This museum features mostly classic paintings by some of the most well-known artists in history, including Monet, Renoir, Van Gogh, and Cézanne. If you're an art aficionado and don't mind looking at lots of paintings of middle-aged naked ladies, well, you'll enjoy it. But otherwise, you can be on your way and out of here rather quickly. Of course, like most large cities, Hiroshima has an extensive area of shotengai, or covered shopping streets, featuring every kind of store imaginable. There isn't anything directly comparable to them in the US, but the closest would be a shopping mall. However, a shotengai is owned collectively by the shop owners, who are mostly local residents. You can find anything and everything here, including numerous restaurants. In this particular one, we stumbled upon one of my favorite places, a happy pancake. Several years ago, the fluffy pancake became all the rage in Japan, and for good reason. These are not like the out-of-the-box Bisquick pancakes back home, but rather they are light and fluffy soufflés of goodness. It takes around 20 minutes to prepare them, then you can have them topped with all kinds of things from berries to chocolate to honey and more. These things are absolutely melt in your mouth wonderful delights, and I can never leave a trace on the plate. The location of this store provides a lesson to the uninitiated traveler. If you look from the outside, you would likely never venture to this restaurant. It looks as if you're walking into a dark alley with nothing good afoot. Take the cramped elevator 3 floors and it opens onto a nondescript landing. But have no fear, you're in Japan and it is the safest country in the world, so just step on through the door and enter the bliss that is fluffy pancakes. We conclude this tour with our stay at the Riga Royal Hotel, which is conveniently situated within a short walk of these key sites. It is adjacent to the Pasella shopping complex, and the hotel provides excellent views either to the north overlooking Hiroshima Castle on this stay, or out to the Seto Inland Sea, which we enjoyed during a previous stay. The rooms are spacious and very comfortable with large bathrooms, though somewhat dated. We enjoyed our included breakfast in the Sky Dining restaurant on the 33rd floor. It was a Western-style breakfast accompanied by a tremendous view of the city. You also have the option of the large buffet on the ground floor. However, we've had both and definitely prefer the more quiet, scenic atmosphere up on high, as well as the quality of the food. At $185 per night, excellent service, and the great location, we consider the Riga Royal a great value in Hiroshima. Watch for our upcoming video on Osaka, known as the Kitchen of Japan. We'll visit the incredible Osaka Station, Dotonbori at night, the historic Sumiyoshi Temple, and a Willy Wonka-looking incinerator plant. Yes, we're taking you to a trash dump, but don't be fooled, it's mind-blowing. Until next time, sayonara!